Good morning, I'm Trevor.
And I'm Jill.
And I'm Patty.
We are
Most importantly
today, this is the most beautiful home. We're sitting at Patty Ekvall's home. She is a master cook, chef, amazing stylist. She puts her house together, stager. But if you just take a quick look around, this is the most beautiful morning. We are so thrilled, and we're going to be walking through. We have a P, the letter P theme of food and drinks. So should we start with a toast?
Yes, this is our peach Bellini, but I'm calling it a Pellini.
A Pellini.
Good
morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well,
It's sort of like a 7-degree day.
Yes, but it's warm and toasty inside
It
here.
sure is.
Cheers. Mm.
Yummy. So what are we drinking here, Patty?
Okay, it's fresh peach puree that I did make this morning, and with a
And
little
how do you make
prosecco.
it? Just blended it up?
Well, you can cut it. I have a juicer, you know, one of those
Right.
where it takes all the
Delish.
pulp and everything and just gives you the good stuff. And then you put a little sugar, a little lemon juice, and you blend it, and then you just pour it in, and
Beef or prosecco?
voila.
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 Pellini. So
A
we're going to
Pellini.
start out. I'm going to put my napkin in my
Yes,
lap.
behave now.
I have to behave properly. It's tough. You know that. Anybody who knows me. It's a tough one.
You must bring all these skills because I know you're a great realtor too.
She's an amazing
we'll
If
go
set
there
up,
later.
If you set up this, anyone's house like this, I feel like.
We'll get there in a minute. Anyway, the menu here is all about peas. And I'm giving you a couple of ideas on how to work with them. I don't know about you, but back in the day when I was a little, I used to push my peas to the side. However, peas are really very nutritious for you. They actually have about 8 grams of protein in a cup. They're high in A's and B's and C's. And they even have K in it. They have magnesium. They have a lot of nutrients.
good for us.
I
So
didn't know that.
it's
I
the
like
next
them
new
now, though.
cauliflower, okay? So
The new kale.
the new kale, new cauliflower. Anyway, and since spring is hopefully going to spring soon,
Please, Lord.
not today, but it looks beautiful out.
It is
I
great.
figured I'll give you a couple ideas in terms of an appetizer and then a main course, which we're going to do minted peas and lettuce cups. Then we're doing a seared scallop under
Yummy.
a bed of pea puree, which I will show you in a little bit.
Again,
Ooh.
everything's about presentation. You
Right.
cannot believe how beautiful it is here.
And then we're doing a pasta. Okay, you ready for all the peas?
Oh my gosh.
It's
I love every one of
peas.
these.
pea parmesan, pancetta.
Yum. Beef, parmesan, pancetta. What else? This is a tongue twister.
Yeah, I know. Now I'm blanking. Pea parmesan, pancetta, pesto,
Yum.
pasta. Perfect. Okay, so
Love it.
anyway, so I'm going to start with the pesto, which is going to take 2 cups of peas.
Now, are these
Now, these-
frozen peas?
yes,
fresh
these are-
peas? What
these
what
are
they?
frozen
The kind you
peas.
put on, for a nice pack?
Yeah, exactly.
You
I
are
do.
just-
I use petit pois.
Petit
So,
pois.
petit
And
pois.
then-
And therefore, they're a little sweeter and smaller and nicer to deal with. They're not as, sometimes they can be a little starchy.
They look greener than the others.
Yeah.
Than the typical
So I
frozen.
don't cook these. This is what's so nice about this dish, is you don't need to cook these. You just thaw them out, and the pasta will cook it later.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
So here's 2 cups there.
There. I need
And
help
we
with
can do
this. Yeah, I can do that. But I have a problem getting even those processors to work.
Well,
Give the right blade.
I think that's
give
an
the switch.
excuse, Trevor.
Okay, you push the button.
I mean, you have to, first you have to plug it in.
There's that.
And then you have a 1/4 cup of mint leaves, chopped mint leaves.
Ooh, this looks so good.
Okay. And then you have a little kosher salt, of course.
Mm-hmm.
A quarter
This is
teaspoon.
great. By the way, we're accompanied by the beautiful Chloe.
Yes.
She is
We are.
a French bulldog. She's walking around.
She's
here.
my Roomba. She picks up everything that I leave on the floor by mistake.
That's awesome, actually.
Very helpful. We love that. So if you hear her bark here now and then, she's just part of this. The
And
show
then you
today.
have 1 garlic clove.
Can we put this up later? Because I know a lot of people are going to ask.
Yes, you can put this up later.
Recipe.
And then you have some pepper, of course.
And you always ground your pepper right away. You
Yes.
don't ever have.
Well, you can have it pre-ground,
Uh-huh.
but I'm just doing this right now.
Healthy amount of pepper.
Very healthy. Patty does not hold back.
No. Go back. You got to go bold or go home.
Pretty much in everything.
And then you also have some grated lemon zest, which is really
Yum.
nice. It kind of brightens the whole experience. So I just put like a tablespoon or so.
Such a nice combination of tastes.
Yeah, you can layer in this, and this is also another version of a cheaper version of basil pesto, because basil is expensive, and you don't have to necessarily use the the French Parmesan. I mean, not French, Italian Parmesan. You can use the American Parmesan. There's ways of working it where it's a big difference in terms of cost.
Right.
So this is another version.
point.
You can also use edamame as an idea too.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That's really
Yeah,
cool.
you can it can be as a dip. You can do a lot of things. So this is what's so
You're
wonderful
so
about
creative.
this.
Oh my gosh.
And then we have, not last but not least, the Parmesan. This is about half a cup. Let me make sure. Where's my cup? Oh, here it is.
I would just stick my spoon in this right now, and I think I'd be fine. So I can only imagine.
It looks so healthy
Together.
too. I mean, really
Ah, what the
nothing
hell,
too
just
simple.
put it on.
It's gonna be nice and cheesy.
Nice and cheesy. And then, last but not least, the olive oil. Where's my olive oil?
Where's the olive
Oh,
oil?
here it
Right
is.
there.
Right in front of me. There you've been all my life. Okay.
Are you fussy about what olive oil you use?
There's a whole thing
World,
about
yeah.
olive oil, and then there's the bad, where they're
Yeah.
counterfeits, and
Ah.
Yeah, there is actually Perfect Provenance held a really interesting seminar on olive oil, and they found this purveyor that started it, and it's fabulous. And actually, I have one in there.
Now, what's that one called? Where do we get that one? That looks really good.
Well,
We're
here
like
we
in
have-
first grade at these things. I feel like we're in the first grade class.
This is the product. This is a Perfect Provenance, which is in
Oh,
Greenwich.
yummy.
I
Oh,
love the
that's
store;
beautiful.
they're awesome.
Can I
And
smell
this
it?
is Herbes de Provence,
It
and
says
it's a
infused.
reputable olive oil by far. These two young women
Ooh, smell.
did this
Because I feel like it does.
venture, and then I did their balsamic as well.
Mm.
But I'm all about,
Herbs infused.
well, you have to have a great product in order to have
Yeah.
a good experience.
In everything also.
Okay, so next is the olive oil,
Uh-huh.
which is about a half a cup of extra virgin. Pour that in there. Now,
Jill, we're eating well today.
We are for this month.
okay, I hope you don't jinx me.
I don't think it's possible.
All right, hold on. Okay,
It's gonna work.
you definitely jinxed me.
I've always had this problem getting
The top thing.
the top thing.
It was working
it goes.
before.
Eventually
Okay.
it
There it
goes.
goes. There it goes.
I think it's not down on that side.
Yeah.
There we go. Trevor. Don't mess with Trevor. See what happens.
Jesus Christ.
I'm a
All right,
witch.
so then it's this way.
There you go. You got it. I see it.
There.
Ah.
Maybe that's
Voila.
That's backwards. Ooh, it already looks so good.
So good.
I feel like can you put this on every single thing that you eat all day? It would taste good.
So you're adding a little oil. Is it supposed to look quite liquidy enough?
Some of this is just your instincts at this point because you made this, but so luckily we have this on video for you, so you can watch it over and
I'm gonna get a
over.
little
Exactly.
splash
As
of
you're
lemon
making
juice.
Right. Oh, a little orange juice?
No, lemon juice.
Lemon juice.
Just a
Ah,
little
that looks really
splash.
good. Okay. And we'll post all these recipes, right? Yeah. We're gonna put these all
Or
up.
just watch.
So just to repeat,
Which is what I would do.
we're gonna be making what are we calling this pasta dish today?
It's fresh pea pesto pasta.
Fresh-
Fresh pea. Oh God.
Fresh pea pesto pasta.
Mm-hmm.
How's it taste?
Patty's peas.
Oh my God.
Patty's fresh pea pesto.
Do you want to wait? And be
Never. I
surprised?
never want to wait.
I'm gonna be surprised.
Okay, it's good. It's good.
It's good. I believe
Okay.
you. You
Now,
can trust Patty.
Yeah.
our next, now that we have that,
Uh-huh.
should we do the scallops first? I'm thinking maybe we'll do the scallops first.
Okay. Scallops first.
Okay, so let me get the scallops.
Now,
One
where
second.
do you get scallops? I don't even know where to buy them.
I go to
Oh,
Fjords.
I am
Oh,
definitely
or
ahead of
Bon
you.
Ton.
I make them all the time.
You do?
They're the easiest thing to
Yeah.
make.
So these are
I like that.
sea scallops. Now these
Beautiful.
are day boat sea scallops, meaning they have not been bathed or treated by any kind of preservative, which you want to make sure of. And with this,
I wouldn't know that.
This is easy. Put it on the grill.
Oh,
Now we have
With this, you
Oh.
take the membrane here, the muscle that's attached to the shell, and you take that out. And I rinsed these already, and I dried
And
them.
you're a New England girl.
I know. Never knew what to do with scallops.
I dried these, but they need a little bit more because you want a really nice sear on these. And to get a nice sear, they have to be dry. And the pan, believe it or not, doesn't have to have any oil in it. You just you have to let it. I mean, I have a cast iron, so it is treated a little bit, but it's not any butter or oil. You just let it sit there and let it caramelize, and then it'll let you know when it's ready when they release, and then you flip it. Well, scallops you don't have to overcook.
No.
By any means. They have,
Amazing.
okay, so I'm going to do a little salt.
Really above my pay grade, Jill.
What?
It's above my pay grade.
I feel like you could turn on the
Well, no,
Cuisinart
baked
and-
scallops. Now,
and
the answer is
saute
baked scallops are very expensive.
See, I
They're
didn't
like
know there-
$40 a pound now.
Holy that's quite a lot of money.
Yep. Back in the day when I dated someone who was a scalloper, he dove for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that's
Can you
good. Glad
imagine?
to
They
know.
start that in
Did he
October
like
through
come right up
November.
and was he like, here, take the water out of your scallops for you?
Like that Botticelli painting.
Well, we won't go there. Little pepper.
Little pepper. Gosh, looks amazing. Oops.
I'm surprised they don't have yet where you can like have the scent of what the aroma of what's going on.
What?
Where you have the scent, the aroma of. If they could see the smell on video, how good it smells in here.
Okay, now.
I'm sure that's coming.
Yeah.
Some future building.
I'm going to put.
So this pan is really preheated. It looks
Right.
very hot, right?
It's getting there.
It's getting there.
It takes a while for cast iron to heat up.
Okay. Like how long do you have to wait before you put those scallops in there?
I'm going to wait about a minute.
A minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
All
then
right.
I'm going to put these
Yeah.
in. That's a little bruschetta that you can put
Uh-huh.
with the pea spread and then a little
Ooh.
tomato,
Mm-hmm.
sun-dried tomato topping.
Yummy.
Do you cook a lot while your friends are here, or do you mostly prepare in advance? Because you seem so, relaxed and
She
there's
does
a lot
those.
of
Like,
stuff.
you can't
I
really
drink a
You're
lot
just hanging
first.
No, it's amazing.
But always organic.
It's always organic.
But seriously, Patty's parties are every time exquisite, beautifully. Everything just happens in this incredibly positive, great, delicious way. You're just
You
like,
just have
oh
that.
my god, I had the best time at that. Your birthday party was on your porch last summer.
Yeah, that was great. That was a good party. It was a Asian themed party.
Asian theme. She had all these really cool dragons hanging from the ceiling, and it was fabulous.
Yeah, that was fun.
So, have you been cooking lately, Jill?
Have I been cooking? Oh,
Yeah,
no.
a little.
I have been because I feel like a little bit of a shut-in. And I've been eating so well because, let's see, we had a show with an amazing caterer from
That's
Dash
true,
of Salt
Dash of
at the
Salt.
Chelsea, which I followed up with a visit on Saturday night, and I'm going to
Oh,
admit
you
that I also went to
did.
Tasty Oak.
Ooh,
Very,
delicious.
very good.
I have to get up there.
Yeah.
So good. It was
why don't we do
packed.
brunch this weekend? We'll go, and they have bottomless mimosas and bottomless.
Oh, that's my
bloodies.
name. That's got my name on it.
So- but that chicken scarpiella, I'd never had that. That was ridiculous.
It was really good.
You are fat. It was so good.
So yes, the January resolve to
Uh-huh.
be, better, thinner, less portions, everything else has totally gone out
It's
the window.
gone
So
out
it's
the
going to
window.
be February.
Yeah, that's okay. We can start in February. There's always time
February
to start
that's
something.
tomorrow. So this is a good
Right.
good end for this.
Is it really?
So you hear the sizzle?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it smells so good too, doesn't it? I have made some avocado toast.
Variations?
Variations. I did a fried egg on it the other day. I was quite proud of myself.
Yeah.
It was really delicious.
I have a whole book on avocado.
Ooh. All right, I'm gonna check that out.
I feel like in this freezing cold weather, which I don't think is going to last too long, but it is really nice to be
What
here.
is that noise?
I don't know. I hear someone. Oh, it's your phone. It's your watch.
My watch. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I called Elise by mistake. This is the beauty of these watches. You can do so much and then.
I
That's
haven't gone.
the experience.
I've waited. Do you like it?
I do.
You always
I
wear
really
it.
do. I like it right now. Yeah.
Everyone I know that's resisted is addicted, like everything else. But I
Although one of my clients
I
said
don't
to
know
me,
where to look first.
yeah, one of my clients said to me yesterday that insurance companies now are offering to pay for your watch and the data,
Really?
which is good and bad because now
They
they
want
have
to know your health.
all the data on you, which is a little scary and big brothery, don't you think?
Extremely.
Yeah.
Actually, that's right. I just heard that.
Yeah.
It's on television today. That
Yeah.
it's going to affect your race if you
Yeah.
are too high risk.
Right. They can see your heartbeat and like, oh my gosh, well that person.
Well, on your social media, yeah.
Right?
You have to agree though.
You'd have to agree. And
Or
but
who
they
knows what
pay.
they're doing behind our
Yeah.
backs. Did you see
Right.
the thing on Facebook how they were getting all the data from 13-year-olds?
Yes, you sent me that article. Oh my gosh. And so Apple kicked Facebook off of the app because they were so upset, and apparently they've done this before.
Right.
So it's very scary. what's
Thing
going
after
on with
thing
data.
after thing is just coming out. So yeah, I feel like so they know how many calories you're burning, what your heart rate
Exactly.
is, what all of your health things are. Well, do they know, or you have to sign up for something? They probably know.
Well, they probably know anyway. But if your insurance and they're paying for the watch and the data, then they're gonna know all your data. Literally, they'll know. I heard something on maybe it was NPR about in China. There's actually an app where they literally like watch your behaviors. Like if you have a lot of debt and you've been in jail and all these other, you actually have a different ringtone.
No way.
Yes.
Oh, that's weird.
This is China.
Well,
I know,
Yeah,
but
they're like they watch your literally your behaviors.
what is not known about us? I feel like
It's
what?
true. It's true. Rachel.
Oh
I
no.
know. It's bad. It's bad. You brought up a tough conversation the other day. So Jesse, I'm forgetting his last name.
Samuel from Empire.
From Empire.
In my
yeah.
hometown had such a bad attack
Yeah.
on him. It was both racist and homophobic, and so many people were devastated. And he, at the end, walked himself to Northwestern Hospital. I don't know how he did it. It was really, really brutal. And it's interesting because the day before, you sent me an article about how this LGBTQ. There was a duo ice skating duo.
Yes, yes.
I feel like there's so much progress being made socially, and yet there's always some pushback. It just seems like this. The more it goes like this,
Yeah.
we make some progress, and then
And
is it
When
like
we still feel safe though. How could you be walking down the street and be attacked? This guy is an actor on Empire.
and if he walked to Northwestern Hospital and telling you that he was in a lovely area of Chicago,
that's where I'm from.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Oh my gosh.
Yay!
Yay,
All
Chicago.
right.
I'm right from the city though.
You're
You're
cooler.
you're a suburb.
I was
girl.
suburban. I lived in the
Where-
city
where
for a
did
lot
you
of
live?
years though before I moved here. I grew up in Highland Park and I
Oh,
moved
okay.
to Lincoln Park.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
where I lived in Lincoln Park.
Yeah, awesome. 2800.
Such a beautiful
I
city.
lived on Clark and Belden for a while.
Very
It's
close.
really
Yeah.
cold there right now. What's
Really
the
cold.
temperature?
Well, yesterday what the high was
Oh.
negative 25.
The high.
So the good news is there wasn't much traffic. There was
Do
so much
cars
closed
even
down.
run when it's that cold?
My brother said his car started right up from the driveway.
Wow.
And he went to work. He said like the highway was empty. So many things were closed. All the schools are closed everywhere. But
Good
it's supposed to be 50 this weekend. So
So
we're
I
getting past
I
it.
got this
Oh
as
my
a
God.
I got this as a gift for Christmas.
Got a knife. Watch out.
Yeah, watch out.
Patty.
Okay, so just to let
Okay,
just
where
to
are we
show
at?
Is that a
you-
warning to us? Or
Yeah,
as
Just to
well?
show you, these are the sea scallops that are seared with a crust on them right now.
And that's
And there was no
literally
oil in
about
the
3
pan.
minutes, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're on the.
Oh my god, they look so good.
Yeah.
It
Okay,
smells
so
delicious.
now,
Uh-huh.
and I have some pancetta. Ooh. You know, I rendered it.
Top
in-
5 favorite
I'm
foods.
rendering it, but I put olive oil in it,
Uh-huh.
and then diced up the pancetta, and then it will crisp up, and that's going to be another layer
You
on the
just love that
pasta.
so much.
Oh,
You can put
that
that on
alone.
anything.
But you know what? It's funny. Other than the little toast over there, so I've been looking at all these diets. Looking, I bought the W30. I bought the keto book.
You don't need to
research.
diet. You're
I'm
beautiful.
looking. No, but I could use I'd like to lose a few pounds, and my husband really wants to. But so I'm looking. But so far, the weird thing is, a lot of this I could eat on that.
Yeah,
on those.
right?
Or
This is-
anybody
Oh
who's
yeah,
on those.
this is very.
Scallops and some bacon and
There's
some,
no dairy.
maybe no Parmesan.
So wait, Patty,
It's very
what are
little
you doing
dairy.
right now?
Buy one
First
of
of all,
those.
this
It's
looks so
protein.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's olive oil.
All right.
If you're sticking totally.
This
to
is
it.
olive oil,
I
no
think I'll
butter.
never do it.
So in these little shells, you've got these are just part of your presentation,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And you're filling this with
The pea pesto.
pea pesto.
Parmesan.
Lemon, garlic.
No lemon.
Lemon
You can't
zest.
say lemon because it's not part of the peas.
Oh, sorry.
But it's in there.
But it looks so beautiful.
But
Okay.
it could be adjusted to be even more towards those diets or even more decadent,
Yeah.
either way.
Yeah.
but you could take out probably something.
But
You
we
can.
love pancetta.
And we love Parmesan.
Oh, pancetta. Right? Even just a little on a salad makes it just.
Put some on your avocado toast.
Oh yes.
Okay, then put a little.
Okay, so what are those shells exactly? How do you have those shells? What is
Oh,
that?
you buy them.
Where
know.
did you get those?
Okay, where do you
Probably
oh,
at
where do you buy
Williams
them?
Sonoma has them.
Okay,
Oh,
Williams
okay.
Sonoma.
All right, actually.
Okay.
All right, so in there is the beautiful pesto topped with the
Lemon
scallops and what
zest.
is and that's what you just put on.
And
Uh-huh.
the pea shoots.
Oh.
It's pea
Oh.
shoots.
I'm just gonna
That
go
looks-
out on a limb here and say that a lot of very famous people, I'm not sure that they
Yeah.
even. You stand right with them. Okay?
I know. Patty.
With your
Patty
food
is-
and your entertaining
Well,
capabilities.
just don't tell me I look like Martha.
She looks exactly like her. Let's
Have
be
you ever
honest.
met? Have you ever met her?
Okay, I've been
She
very
was
close to
close.
meeting her, and it's interesting story. Okay, now try one of
Here, wait. We
these.
have to.
Oh,
We have to
okay.
like.
Let me give you a
Skin people
fork.
have to
You have
see
a fork,
this
right?
beautiful
And that's
presentation.
arugula underneath?
Yeah. Well, that's just for display.
So it's.
I was gonna try to get
Oh,
seaweed, but
That's what's so
Yeah.
amazing to
I
make
couldn't
this
find any last
serve
night.
this.
It's, you know.
Hi everybody. I have to
Elisa,
take
beautiful Elisa.
I have to take a picture of this. I'm usually behind the camera, but I just had to get
Oh
in.
my gosh, that is so
Your face
beautiful.
needs to be on camera.
Yes, yes. All right, shall we try this? Are we
Yes,
ready?
please try it.
Yay.
Okay, I'm gonna take a really crispy one.
Taking a crispy
I was
one.
like, I was like everything.
Really crispy. And what's the proper way do we cut this with a knife? Do we?
You can. Yeah, you can. Let me just. You have a knife there,
I
right?
have a knife.
Okay.
Just don't know what the etiquette is for
So yeah,
Oh,
the
scalloping.
chef from the
Just
Chelsea.
as long as you don't drip it on your.
my pretty glass.
Yeah. Just get enough of the puree on there.
See, people wonder why I always wear black on the.
I'm like, eat your peas now,
You
honey.
think I would what?
Thank you, Mom.
Good?
God.
Is it too hot? No.
No,
Mmm.
it is so delicious.
That
Okay.
is
The lemon. The
delicious.
lemon makes a
The
huge
lemon
difference.
zest.
Mhm.
Okay, let me taste this.
That is so yummy, Patty. Elisa,
I'm gonna make this and impress everyone.
Lisa, you get to change. You get to try it too.
Oh yeah, so good.
Totally healthy.
What do you think? Did it come out the way you wanted?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my
good.
gosh, it's
Really,
so
really
tasty.
great.
And this is a. Sorry.
What? What?
This is a nice little amuse-bouche.
Amuse-bouche. I love that word, amuse-bouche.
So if you're having a dinner party, you would serve this before the appetizer or after the appetizer. What do you think?
Well, depending on the size, you can. Oh, sorry.
You have peas on your lips.
Mm.
Very
Sorry.
good. Feels beautiful.
You can make it a bigger appetizer with a bigger scallop shell. These are small, but there are bigger scallop shells.
Do
So you can do.
3 or something.
Yeah, because
Mm.
scallops are very dense and they're very filling.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't need a whole lot.
No.
I mean, it's a very French thing just to have this.
Oh, I could scoop this up with a spoon and just eat this.
Right,
too.
well, we're gonna do
Oh,
that
it's
next.
delicious. It is delicious. So, an
So-
amuse-bouche is sort of the beginning of the meal, right? Is to kind of get your palate
Right,
up and running and
right. Give it, you know,
provoked a little
And
bit.
did you do anything we didn't see? Because, all right, you did this in what, 10 minutes at the most? I mean, you had
well,
some
you know,
prep.
it's in the prep.
right?
You know, if you get everything prepped and
Right.
ready to go all in soldiers in a row, then it's a lot easier
Right.
to get everything done faster.
And
could
by the
It's in
way,
the prep.
her prepping looks like literally like it is a show.
Okay, so now
the way
I've
I would prep it
rendered,
would be ugly and not.
We'd have to cut out most of the
I've
bread,
rendered
but it's all right.
the pancetta, as you can see here, which I will drain on a paper towel so it's nice and crispy, because this is gonna go into the pasta on top of the pasta as a layering. Now, again, if you don't wanna eat meat, you can keep it vegan or vegetarian, because it does have Parmesan in it, so.
It looks so nice and crispy.
Okay, so next are
I feel
our
so
little
lucky. I'm embarrassed.
All right. We're getting this is like a 5-star.
We're gonna make
meal.
this. Let's make a challenge. You make one and I make one.
Okay, so now
That's a
I
challenge.
I'm coming to your
toasted. I toasted
Let's do
some
You gotta come that
baguettes
Mm.
where again you can put the pea puree on.
If you're watching seriously and
I
you're a
love this
person that's
puree.
like interested in cooking,
Mhm.
this is so delicious and it tastes like really top tier. And I think
It's fresh.
like anyone that likes to cook at home should be able to.
It has a
relate
lot
to
of
this.
layers, which is
Right.
nice, you know, and you can put even basil in it. You can put however, you know, many different ingredients.
And if you were doing an edamame, would you just throw in like about that same amount of
Yeah.
thought and edamame?
Yeah, it can. It's
I'd love
sort
to
of
try
like
that
it's
too.
hit or it's
I
you know
know.
you can't fail on this. You just keep tasting. It's like
Right.
oh I put too much lemon. Put some more peas in.
And I do like the idea of
Or more olive oil.
branching out because I do feel like we're doing kale all the time, and so using
Well,
peas
bro-
is kind of a
and
little
also
additional.
And the cauliflower thing is
Cauliflower.
Cauliflower. You're
I
like,
love
okay.
it, but
Yeah, so this is kind of fun. It just sort of
Well, it's
broadens
hopefully going
your-
to be spring soon, is what I can tell you.
Please, Lord, yes.
So then you have that, and then I have.
now I think you could mix it up for Super Bowl and start with this. Why
Right.
not?
Oh, I like that.
So then you have a little bit of
Or
the
else-
sun-dried tomato
Oh, I love sun-dried too.
to top it off, to give it a little more.
Mm-hmm. It looks so pretty.
We are an enthusiastic audience.
Yes.
You are,
Yes.
and that's the only reason why I invited you.
We're not like
You know, I don't
we're
get
not
it. I don't allow
like
everybody to come in. You know, I'm very selective.
We are privileged, I have to say.
Yeah, I how do you say you get a man through the stomach, not through the heart, or whatever that stupid saying.
That is another discussion that's coming next week or the week
Oh
after.
really?
That clearly is my problem, Patty.
Let me get rid of this. Hold on. Sorry.
I have so many comments I could make right now.
Okay. Here, Jill. I'm gonna give you this. If you
She's
give me
laughing
your
too hard.
if you give me your
Even though
scallop
you
shell.
can't run the food processor, you have
Okay.
managed to eat some
She's so cute.
Oh,
Could you
dear.
shut my mouth?
Anyway, well, let's try this now.
Okay, here we go.
Mm.
Mm.
Get a little of that tomato in there, though.
Oh, it's so good.
Right?
What do you think?
Easy.
Amazing.
You like it?
Really
Of course
easy.
it is.
Oh.
It's just a difference.
The same thing, the little
Again, you
sun-dried
can
on the
just-
toast.
You can even put.
You make this look so easy, Patty.
I know.
And then you can make a little. You can put a little basil
Mm-hmm.
on top as a little garnish. You know. You
Super
want another
yummy.
one?
It has a really good amount of
I'm trying to leave
Yeah.
some room for the pasta
Oh well, don't
And the
forget about the
pancetta.
peas. And the peas.
and the pea. Oh my goodness.
for a breakfast. Is there a dessert?
Okay, next.
Uh-huh.
Are we boring everybody yet?
Nobody's bored. Do you have lots of comments?
So listen.
If you're a cook,
I know. If you're a cook,
again, this is a really great. These are all delicious,
Mhm.
and obviously you can work on a million variations with this.
I'm just heating the pasta bowl. So my next attempt here are the lettuce cups.
You've got to heat the pasta bowl, Joe.
Okay.
Did you know that?
No.
It's nice. Well, I'm going to be tossing the pasta, so.
I'm becoming a mess. So yesterday we were talking last night with a bunch of friends about all the Oscar nominations finally came out. They're cooking. Did you see the movie with Glenn Close? Did we talk about
I
this?
have not
No, I
seen
didn't
the
see
wife.
that one.
The wife. I haven't seen it yet.
I saw
Have
it
you?
on the airplane. I think I mentioned this before, but yeah, I didn't want the airplane to land. It was so good.
Oh,
'Cause I kept
wow.
seeing her win. She
Oh.
keeps winning, and I'm like, how is she beating Lady
She's
Gaga?
so amazing.
Glenn Close is truly
She's
and
amazing.
people-
She's
people
never gotten
love
an
her as a
Oscar.
person.
We just had a guest arrive. This is Jeanette. Good morning.
Jeanette is part of the peanut gallery. Again, another pea thing.
And Chloe's
Don't
saying
touch,
hello.
don't touch Chloe. She's being a little bitchy. Okay, so now we're moving on to the minted pea lettuce wraps. So what I'm doing here is I have butter that I melted, and I'm putting in the sliced shallots that I used in my fabulous little blender. It's the next best thing to the vibrator. Sorry, I had to wake everybody up because I knew it was a little boring.
There has to be something that's
This,
a dual
my
purpose.
darling, is the best thing.
Vibrator that
I'm sure they must have.
This is my vibrator in the kitchen, okay?
this gets you off, Patty.
It does.
differently.
It gets chopping anything, which I really don't, as you can tell. I put everything in here, the garlic, the shallots, you name it, it goes in here. Okay,
So it's a Cuisinart
and
vibrator?
you know, it's a
No,
mini,
it is
it's a mini,
seriously,
it's a
what-
mini one.
It's a mini one.
Yeah, it's a mini one.
All right.
Anyway.
Jill, we
You
need
came
one of
just in
those.
time to the.
So we're gonna have to get a mini one now.
Okay.
Okay. For our own
One
kitchen
show is going to be
vibrators.
you and me each making this together.
Laughing.
Okay, so
See
now,
if it's recognized.
what's next here?
What's next?
I'm doing the peas,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna be sauteing them, and
The
then we're gonna start
shallots.
the pasta. Let me see,
Uh-huh.
the pasta should be going now. Okay, now, a little known fact, I don't know if you know this,
Uh-huh.
but you put salt in the pot when it boils, not
I do
When it
directly.
boils.
when it boils, because you know why?
Why?
It stains your stainless steel if it goes down to the bottom before it's, you know, not, I mean, you're particular, but that's one of the reasons.
Okay, good.
So
That's
you
good
do
to
that.
know.
Okay, another
Uh-huh.
helpful tip, I don't know about, if you know about garlic.
Love garlic. I do.
When you cook with garlic, which
Uh-huh.
I know sometimes you might in your future,
Potential is there.
potential is there. There are several ways of working with garlic.
Uh-huh.
First and foremost, it's
Uh-huh.
always best when you cut it to wait like 10 to 15 minutes because it releases an enzyme that has more health benefits.
Oh.
Yes, and then in terms of if how much pungency you want, if you want to crush it, you'll get more pungent flavor. But if you slice it like this, which I use, this is a truffle slicer. I don't have wild truffles right now.
And where do you
Wasn't in the budget.
where do you get truffle slicers?
Oh, again, probably
It smells so
Like
good, by
Sonoma.
the way.
caramelizing.
Truffle slicers. It smells so good you can't even
Just on
imagine.
the side for a minute. What I was going to tell you is, yeah, I get pretty much everything on Williams Sonoma. They better pay me for this.
I know
Anyway.
this is a big plug.
So then if you just want to slice it this way,
That just looks
so
fun,
easy.
even if I wasn't eating it. It looks
yeah,
fun.
you just got to be careful with your
Your
fingers.
thumbs, you could
Right.
slice up a piece of your
But
thumb.
that's a little known
Yeah.
fact that when you cut your garlic, before you put it in cooking, wait 10 to 15 minutes.
So
So you
you-
get better benefits that way before it gets,
So you slice it 10 to 15 minutes ahead of cooking it.
right,
So this enzyme is
Right,
released
it's
and it's
released
better,
and-
it's healthful,
right.
beneficial.
right,
Interesting.
exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Okay, so that's a little teaching.
So you never buy the garlic that's in a jar.
No. No.
This is why we're in class
This is why we're
today.
in class.
We need
We're
to
gonna
get
have a little
teachers
test.
more.
This is bad, I know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm terrible, I'm terrible.
No, you're just adorable.
Well,
We
I
still
need to
love
learn.
you.
I need to learn.
Okay, so what else was I going to tell you? Oh, let's go back to Martha.
Okay, back to Martha, because
While
you
I'm doing
almost
my-
met her.
I almost
You were
met
at
her
a restaurant, I know this story.
several times, but no, what you don't know is a really interesting story.
Huh.
When this house was flooded by Sandy back in 2012, we had to live in a rental, and we had 10.5-foot surge, and now we're 15.5 feet above sea level. We were one of the first homes to be raised in this area, so we were like the poster child for the P&Z. In saying that, this whole floor here, the water was up to here.
Oh my
It was
God.
Amazing.
Yes, and all of my Martha Stewart magazines were on the lower level. Like you see, all my cookbooks are here. Well, they were all on a lower level, and they all were destroyed. And I had collected them since inception. Matter of fact, my first cookbook, I just so happen to have, is Martha Stewart Entertaining.
Oh, I remember this book.
And
remember that
a
too.
dear boyfriend of mine back in the day gave me this in 1983.
The scallop diver?
The scallop diver?
No,
Different one.
that was after the scallop diver. So anyway, this survived the flood, as you can tell, you know, the
See a
binder and
little-
everything. Yeah, so this has been my little prize. This was my first cookbook, by the
Oh
way.
my
So,
gosh.
in saying
This is
that, a
amazing.
dear friend of mine who knew I was, you know, distressed about losing my Martha Stewart magazines, had invited me over with my husband to her house for dinner, and I had no idea who was going to be there. So I walk in, and lo and behold, there is Laura Plimpton, Martha Stewart's sister, who has worked with
Ah.
Martha for 25 years on her blog. And she had 2 huge shopping bags of Martha Stewart magazines
Oh my gosh.
for me, 'cause she
for
heard-
you.
she heard from her
That's
friend.
amazing.
And she gave me, because I went online to try to replace them. They're expensive. I love you, Martha, and I get it. But when you go way
That
back
is
in the
such a
archives,
beautiful
some of them were
story.
like $20. I mean,
Wow.
$30, and I'm like, oh. So she gave me 2 huge bags,
That's wonderful.
shopping bags. So I was like blown away, and of course she, you know, I invited her to my, what is it called? Boxing Day party, smorgasbord, day after Christmas,
Lovely.
in my rental at the time, and it was a big, huge spread, and she was just a love, and unfortunately she had passed a couple of years ago, unexpectedly, which I'm really sorry to hear, and she was a lovely woman and very gracious, so.
That was very kind
I'm
of
so
her.
glad you got those magazines back.
Yeah, well, it was
I know.
awesome to meet her as well, but I still haven't met Martha.
You'll
So
get
anyway.
I feel like you two should do a little episode
Separated at
together.
birth.
Right.
Literally separated at birth. People have walked up to me.
Well, I'm not Polish, I'm Croatian, so there's the difference, sort of.
But you both have the food and the delicious food looking gorgeous gene.
But
Well,
also,
that's because I was
Jane.
inspired by her,
the
trust me on that one.
presentation, all of it. It's not just the cooking.
No.
Everything comes together in this very beautiful.
You feel really special and inspired.
Okay, so now we're moving on here.
We can try to do this.
We could try.
I can set the table all pretty and
Yeah,
like
yes, you
make some
can.
okay food, but I've
Yeah.
never made anything that comes out like.
I know.
It's not too late.
All right, so
So
back.
now I have the shallots and the peas that I blanched briefly. These frozen peas again, I just blanched them, I didn't.
No, what does blanching mean exactly?
You just put them in hot water for a
In
couple
hot
minutes,
water,
boiling
okay.
hot water for a couple minutes and pull them out.
Okay.
You know, they were in a
Uh-huh.
strainer.
Uh-huh.
And so I have this now. I'm moving along here, and then
Delicious.
it takes a little bit of lemon juice. Again.
So, any other Oscar thoughts?
Oh, so as we started to talk about the movies, but there were a lot. What movies did you love? I loved so many of them.
I saw Roma,
Oh, how was
and
that?
I was blown away. I
Really?
loved it so much. I think it's one of the best things I've seen in years. So, everybody, please go see it.
I mean, it's one. Isn't it one almost?
Oh, we
Uh,
saw
it's-
Roma too.
Yeah, it's. oh, I liked Roma.
They moved her.
It moved her. So, more
Why is it so special?
it's
I'm not doubting it. I'm just wondering.
It's a Alfonso Cuarón's love letter to his nanny, basically.
Oh.
It is a beautiful, beautiful film that's just, it moves rather slowly. A lot of people are like, this is boring, I don't like it, and it's in black and
Wait a
white.
minute, I
But
turned it
takes
on
you
for
some
like
time.
a minute. There was a naked guy running, doing like a demonstration.
Yes, so that
for
was the
some-
boyfriend who
Yeah.
was,
So it can't be
into-
that. It's not all that boring.
It's not all that way. No. It
Or
really, it moves through this
cute.
experience of this young man, boy, kind of becoming who he became, which is a director. But it's beautiful. It is truly beautiful.
I've heard that. That's what I'm saying. I was surprised because I kind of clicked on Netflix in the middle, and I was like, oh, I didn't expect
Blown away.
some of the scenes that I saw. I mean, I don't mean it. It looked great, but
And the star Yalitza,
watch
I
it.
think is her name, is the first Indigenous person to ever be nominated for an
Yeah.
Oscar, which is really exciting. And
Yes.
the community is
she's amazing.
so warm and loving, and she really doesn't say a whole lot, but you just feel
feel
like you're hugged by her.
Yeah.
In this movie. So,
So
What
I'm
about
salting
him? What
the
about the
water.
it's really his childhood.
But I mean, the
So much
actor,
The actor.
because he hasn't been.
There's it's really about her and her relationship with these children, and there are some men who come and go. Men really are
So the
not
one that I
the
saw
heroes.
is not necessarily that.
He's kind of a boyfriend that makes a few appearances, both good and bad.
So it's a
Mostly
she.
bad.
It's a she-ro.
It's a she-ro movie, absolutely. Men come out
For
looking not
me.
so terrific in this movie, to be honest. Yeah. What else did you see?
I saw. Well, I think Patty, are you giving us an update?
Are we getting enough
I
time?
just put the pasta in.
Uh-huh.
So
How
we're
long
in
did you
there,
put
and
the
I'm
pasta
working on these lettuce cups. So I'm on, as I said, I put the peas, and I have now a little sugar I have to put in there. Where is my sugar?
Plus, I've always thought it's very cool for people that can cook on camera. Because even if I made something 80 times, I think if someone filmed me, I'm not sure what would happen.
I'd be nervous.
Well, I'm not.
Yeah. No,
I know you're not.
obviously.
You're total natural. Complete natural.
More of the Martha Jean.
The Martha Jean,
The
exactly.
Martha Jean.
Like, you need to hear this.
So, but again, you make it look so beautiful, right?
great.
Okay, so now here's the
These are
little
blanched
cups
peas.
coming. They're coming. So you can talk now about
Okay,
your
we're
next movie.
We're gonna talk about it. Okay, so what else have you
Okay,
seen?
so Roma, that intrigues me. I have
Yeah.
to see that.
Definitely see it.
But that's what I was saying. When you said it was boring, I was like, when I turned it on, it didn't look
Yeah.
like that at all. It looked
I-
like, wow.
I think a lot of people who start watching it say it moves rather slowly, so it does pick up speed. It has this sort of this rhythm that gets from the beginning,
You
but
get
it's
used to it.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
I have to say, for some reason, my favorite movie was The Black Klansman.
I thought that was
The Black
good.
Klansman. I haven't seen it.
I wasn't even wanting to see it necessarily, and I watched it at home, and it's a true story, based on a true story of this first black police officer in a town in Colorado who went undercover on the phone to infiltrate the Klan, and then had another guy on the force who's Jewish actually go to the Klan, and one of them actually was always suspecting he was Jewish. It was really scary in a way, but it's and they infiltrated them, and they stopped them from something horrible in this town, and they did not come out for years because of all kinds of confidentiality things, and Spike Lee directed it. It sounds like you don't see a lot of violence, and there's a lot of humor, and the acting's great, and I thought it was like riveting, and kind of everybody that I saw it with, all very different people, liked it very much. I loved it.
So weren't you surprised? So Lady Gaga, right? Because everybody loved A Star Is Born. Any thoughts on?
Not
the
everyone I
nomination?
know.
No,
loved
I
it.
was only so on it personally, but
I loved it.
I loved it, just as a sort of,
So
you
good.
know, rock star worship thing.
yes,
too.
which is
Like,
fun too, right?
and Bradley Cooper.
Oh my gosh, and of
whole
course her
thing,
songs.
but-
are-
Yeah, I thought she was amazing, but and that's why I said I couldn't understand the Glenn Close thing till I saw it. You must watch and tell me. what you
Okay,
think.
the wife.
Oh,
We all have to see
watch
that.
it.
Okay, next.
Trust
Next.
us. Trust us on Patty and on this movie.
And I just love that there's some really neat, good parts for women of all ages
Yeah.
now. That I think it's very cool what's happening out there.
There's a lot of other good ones too.
So Patty, what are you going to do here with these? Those are what is
Scooping this into the pea lettuce cups. I mean the lettuce cups.
lettuce cups. What type of lettuce is that?
This is Boston lettuce or
Boston
butter
lettuce.
lettuce.
Butter
Again, your hometown.
I don't know.
You can make scallops easily in Boston lettuce.
You're assuming a
You
lot.
can impress everybody at home when you go back.
So you have a little cool,
Who
a
are you?
little warm.
You take
Again,
over
this is a
Trevor's
nice
body.
one.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
my
I
gosh.
love that.
Look how beautiful. Ooh. Delicious.
Again, for all the people who won't go near bread, right?
Yes, exactly.
And this is a great.
Right? This looks so healthy.
Jeanette, would you like one? Okay. All right, we're gonna try it.
Okay, we're gonna try it.
Okay.
Yummy.
It's like your taco. It's not Taco Tuesday, but close enough.
Mmm.
All right. It's still a little different.
Mhm.
Those are the shallots.
The shallots make it so good, but there's like a fresh taste in there
Mhm.
too.
Mm.
The mint. Ah.
I feel like you planned this in a way, but I'm getting addicted to the taste of the peas. They're really good.
Yeah.
And the
I mean,
lemon.
they have like a lot of the lemon, and they have like
Being
so
a little
much.
So when I do the pasta with the pancetta, it'll have another layer
Mhm.
of a difference, you know.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I feel like I'm cheating on the cauliflower with the peas.
You're so cute. And this doesn't have any cheese in it. That's the also difference. Okay.
So this
Okay.
has to
It's a
fit
little
almost
cleaner.
everyone, unless they can't
Yeah.
have peas.
Yeah.
So it has to
I mean,
fit
again,
into
you
a lot of the
could,
diets.
you know, depending. I mean, again, we're doing a lot of different pea dishes, so I'm taking some elements out of it and putting it in others,
Mhm.
so you
And-
can see the difference. But you could put, you know,
So the
Parmesan in
same
it.
thing, like you could have done that with edamame and put this in
Right.
here, it would be delicious
Yeah.
too.
Exactly.
Mm.
Okay, so
And our final, the one I've been drooling over, the course, is on its way.
Pasta with the pancetta.
It's good before 11 o'clock to have 4 courses of food.
Good idea.
Bellini.
So we're gonna do a show. We've been talking about sex lives of women over 50, or everything.
And men.
And men.
Mhm.
So we're gonna have to have a conversation where we haven't quite set up the show yet. This came after you sent me it was a link to the Today Show, right?
Right. Well, Maria Shriver, who I think she's been doing some cool things. She had two very different couples, and then a single gentleman who, by the way, said he can't keep up with the women now these days.
Oh, really?
Well, was it a surprise?
I'm not going there.
Don't.
You were going there before.
But my friend Ava Diamond, so shout out to Ava, hi Ava, posted sort of a plea to men over 45 to take care of your bodies, but also maybe do hormone replacement therapy.
Which I have not heard much about.
Go down.
Yeah.
Whatever helpful, whatever helps.
Well, in general, I like the whole gist of that she was sort of reminding men, even besides that, stay in shape, stay, look good. Like, so many women are conscious of this. It's great when men are too, and the results just work out better for everybody, don't they?
Yes, they do.
I love, so Maria Shriver had two couples on. One of the couples was older, and they're like, we don't really have sex, but
they really love each other
together every
and they
night, and we
touch,
touch, and we
it's so
consider
lovely.
that to be, to be intimate. And so they were great. And then there was another couple who she took on all these personas.
She goes, I take on a persona, and her name is whatever it was, and she wears outfits I would never wear.
Yeah.
It was really cool. I loved it.
So there's lots of positives,
girl,
but there's
get
also so many challenges for people, and they come in lots of variations. So we would love to have you join us.
Yeah,
If you'd like to be
we
on
love
and
it.
talk about this, and you don't have to share, you can
You
just
can come hang
muse,
out.
or you
be in the audience.
Right.
Jeanette's kind of laughing right now because I don't think she expected to hear this this morning.
maybe she came so she could put her name in first to be on the show.
Right. So we're gonna have to do that in March or later February. We'll see.
Right. So we're planning that because I feel like that's a topic that, and some people just want to watch this from the privacy of their home or their phone. But there's lots of things to suggest for both men and women to make that area of your life better.
Right. So, and it's a challenge. If you've been in a relationship for 20, 30 years, so you know how do you keep it fresh and exciting. Jeanette's raising her hand.
Probably make this for dinner.
Yeah, and according to Patty, and this is where I get it wrong, is that the way to a man's heart and whatever else is through his stomach.
I think 50%
Well,
of the time.
that's what I've
at
been
least.
told. Okay. Forget about the trapeze, all right?
No foreplay.
You wonder why we're bringing you these cooking shows.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, Patty, what are we doing now?
Okay, I heated the pasta
So
bowl.
that goes in first.
Well, I wanted to get warm because I'm going to be tossing the pasta in it to layer it.
I
So
love
how
that
did you
bowl.
heat the pasta bowl?
I put it in the oven just for a little bit.
And the
Not
oven's at
under-
like 200?
Yeah, something like that. And I'm just heating your bowls right now
Oh,
so
so
that,
we have warm bowls.
It's
so
like
that
warm
they're
towels.
not cold.
Don't you love warm towels?
I love warm towels. That's when you go to Europe, everybody has those warm towels. Those are
No,
nice.
they know how to live. They know how to live. We're a little.
Yeah.
So now this version also has pine nuts, toasted pine nuts.
I love
So
And
just
that's
in
that's
case.
the pea.
That's the one.
That was the missing pea.
Missing pea.
The pine nuts and pancetta pesto pea.
So if you have tree nut allergies, which is out there, you can skip the pine nuts, right?
Yeah, I don't know if pine nuts is. Can someone Google that? Is pine
Oh, we're
nut?
getting a nod.
Yeah.
Tree nuts? Are they tree
Are-
nuts?
I don't know, but I wouldn't go near it.
No. Yeah.
But if you can go near them, they are really
Yeah.
delicious, toasted.
Yeah, I toasted those. So that's another layer that's different from the other items that you just tasted.
So delicious, right? So are you gonna make
So
this?
yeah.
So look how
The way to a
toast-
man's heart.
So look how caramelized this
I'm
came.
sure it would be the way. I'm
That
sure
looks
there's nothing
so
I could do any
good.
better for my
Oh
husband.
my gosh! You want to put it right in front of the
Wait,
camera?
that's the pancetta?
That's the pancetta.
That's the pancetta.
So
How
it's
come
I'm
yours
just
kind
looks
of
like that?
crispy.
Mine never looks like.
Well, I don't
What
know.
happened there?
For some reason, and I don't understand it, but you put olive oil in it to to saute it, even though it does have enough fat.
Now, Patty, where do you get
Plums.
pancetta?
Oh, any store.
Any store.
Yeah, you just go in and
That's
out.
just
And
Trevor's
sometimes they're
Right.
already
I'll eat
they're
this.
already
Forget
cut
everything.
up for you in a little package if you want. If you don't want to
Oh,
fuss with it and cut it up yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So we have that, and then we have our toasted pine nuts, quinoa nuts. And you have the toasted hostess.
Yeah. Toasted. Yeah.
That is the best. Isn't that your
That's
Instagram?
going to be my handle now.
Hashtag
Toasted hostess.
I love it.
So wait,
I
how did
actually love it.
I like
Cheers
it.
to that.
Cheers to that.
To toasted. See, it's true.
See?
I spilled.
Yeah,
You
it's
have a
okay.
napkin, right?
I have a napkin, don't worry. So hold on, how did you toast the pine nuts?
Okay, you just put it in a plain pan, no oil, no nothing, and just watch it on a low heat, and then you shake it.
How long
Shake,
does that
shake,
take?
Couple,
Yeah, really fast.
like
they
a minute.
They turn dark.
like, yeah,
Really
fast,
like, this was like on the verge,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
you know?
yeah.
Okay, so I have a,
Okay, toasted hostess.
I have a
Sorry.
funny, I have a funny joke.
Watch out.
What's her name? Julia Child.
Uh-huh.
First you take a knee, and then you take a pee. Couldn't resist, okay? Enough of my humor.
She might have been a toasted hostess.
Oh
too
my god, she
sometimes.
was hilarious. That one with the chicken? She
Oh
was
yes,
so
the chicken.
good.
Now that was a great movie.
Maybe
was
that's
a
great.
That was a great movie.
Oh, yeah, but she was that
Amy
the
Adams.
first real cooking show? Like the first time it became really,
It was black and white on public
Yes.
television, I think.
yeah, in
I
Boston.
remember watching it,
Cambridge.
thinking I can never do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so now
That's really hard.
And look, butter's back. She was the one who from the day one was like, you have to just use a ton of butter.
yeah, I've always used butter. Okay, so now the pasta is ready, but I'm reserving a cup of the water because it's flavored with salt, and sometimes you need it to thin the sauce.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes.
Keep a little bit of the hot
Yes,
butter
pasta
from
water.
the pasta pot.
Now, this can get a little tricky.
Be careful. Oh my gosh.
I know.
So now, where did you get the pasta?
Okay, this is one of my favorites. I love, what is it called? Cipriani.
Cipriani.
Because they have an eggy kind of firm, it's really, yeah.
Okay.
So, but for those who don't live near Cipriani, can you?
No,
well,
you
you
can
guess
get
you could
it.
order, but
You-
just like a
You
good
can get
quality.
it, you can get it in the stores now.
Oh wow.
So,
Oh,
very
it's a
nice.
beautiful color, you
Yeah,
can't
it
resist.
is really pretty.
Yeah, it's a
But
really
Was
high
that
end,
at
nice
Whole
pasta.
Foods, or where did you get that?
I got this, no, I got this actually
They have a Cipriani in Greenwich somewhere.
at King's, and they have it at Balducci's.
Probably order it too.
Yeah.
I want all the pasta.
This would be a nice Valentine's Day.
I know.
Okay, now,
A little. Could
little
you do that
sauce.
first dish with an oyster, the scallop one? Would that be weird tasting? Maybe.
oysters?
I'm just thinking of
the
Valentine's Day, and
yeah.
I was reading all those foods. That's kind of the known one, but that are
Aphrodisiac.
good for. That's probably something we should talk about on
Yeah, we'll do on our sex in the 50s or over 50s. That looks delicious, Patty. Oh my goodness. So you put the peas on the bottom, then put the pasta, and then you're
Tossing it.
tossing it up.
Yeah.
Right. Got it.
Now, it's a little thick, so I'm gonna douse it a little bit with some water.
Oh, see, I don't know.
Maybe like 7 times. And by the
Yeah.
7th time, you'll be like, this is what needs to
It
happen.
smells really good.
If you
Can you
did,
smell
all
it?
these are like very
You smell the
adjustable as you're
mint,
going.
mint.
Oh, it smells so good. So if you were to do like a Valentine's meal, Patty, would you do all red foods? What would you?
I did one time salmon and I did salmon cakes at heart shape. Well, not cakes, but the salmon.
Uh-huh.
But it was kitschy. I did heart shaped salmon
Cool.
steaks or whatever. And I did actually on this pea puree.
Oh, you did. Okay,
Okay.
too.
Yum.
So
Okay.
that was a real hit. And you put it with a little lemon brodo
Mmm.
sauce. So now I'm layering in
Uh-huh. The pancetta.
pancetta.
So the toasted hostess.
I really like that.
I think it's gonna be working for you.
Move over, Hoda and Kathy Lee. There's a new girl in town. You're not the only ones that can drink.
But Kathy Lee is
She's
retiring.
moving over. I mean, well, not retiring. I'm sure she's gonna be
She's
just.
gonna be doing.
Is Jenna Bush for sure the replacement?
I think
She
so,
is, right?
yeah.
She's very good.
It's really good. Very exciting. Oh, we were expecting them to call us.
I think they can handle it. Yeah.
Now, I don't overly salt because I let people figure that out for themselves.
Is the pancetta salty?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
so
little
it brings
salty.
its own,
Yeah.
Little pieces.
Day maybe.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of hoping somebody will make this for me.
Do you have a cook in your future?
Or at least turn on the sewing machine.
Oh dear. Hope never dies.
Oops.
Do you do desserts as well?
Funny you should ask.
Are you a baker? Are you a baker too? Or?
You know, I can't say that that's one of my, you know, because I don't want to gain any weight doing it, although somehow it still happens. Yeah, I have done some desserts. Matter of fact, we're having, you know, green pea ice cream. No, I'm just kidding. Or green pea popsicles. No, I was thinking about that. Maybe I should do something
You're
like,
so
They
funny.
you know,
probably
when there's
have
green ice cream.
There's green ice cream.
There's green
I love
tea
that.
ice cream,
I
right?
love
Tea ice
that.
cream, I like
Matcha.
So why not a little green pea ice cream? So anyway,
Do it. If anybody could do a patty
I can
too.
think of why not.
Yeah.
yeah.
This looks so good.
And then a little lemon zest on it. Where's that?
Lemon zest.
Where's my lemon zest? Come here, lemon.
There we go. Gosh. Unbelievable.
Right. And like I said, there's also just a difference between someone that can stand in front of the camera
Mm-hmm.
and cook away so
Uh-huh.
calmly and it comes out perfect.
And able to tell a joke.
A few jokes.
Yeah. I'm impressed.
Now, oh, sorry. You know, I don't know what's wrong with this restaurant. They don't even know how to clean plates.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna have to fire that girl.
Bring your plates over.
Okay, now
We're
you
bringing
have
our plates over to.
Okay,
we're getting
so-
a direction.
We're
So
getting directions from our director.
Okay.
So should we have to show the plates?
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's.
Yeah.
to us.
Oh, this.
to us.
Okay, here. Wait, hold on. I got this. Wait a second. Wait, I got this.
Want me to come close?
Presentation. Yeah.
Here we go. Watch
So
it and
beautiful.
weep. More?
Oh my
Yeah, there we
gosh.
go.
Yeah. And then
Beautiful.
here. Over here.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Now, let me get my plate. I have to taste this thing.
You have to try it.
I have to
And
try it.
Elisa can, no, okay. Jeanette? Is this Jeanette? No, she's good.
Jeanette, I'm gonna give you stuff later.
Oh my gosh, this looks so gorgeous, Patty.
All right, dig in. Okay, now how you do this? You twirl it with your spoon, and then you know just take a little bit because it's a big mouthful. Because I don't cut the pasta.
Well, haven't you?
Right. My kids were telling me that they Google like what not to eat on a first date. It's pasta.
Oh, not this kind anyway.
Well, now
You
if
could
you-
eat some like
You know,
orchetti or
If
something.
you do penne,
Yeah.
or
See, I never did this right.
you know, little short pasta, it's al dente. You could maybe cook a little bit more, but
Good work.
I didn't want to risk it. But it's good.
So good, right?
I did that so messily, but it was so worth it.
And the
So
pancetta.
good. I need a little bit of pancetta in there.
Yeah.
That's the you know who saved like the good bites for the bottom of the bowl, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. All right, so I'm twirling.
All right, so we've had a lot of success today.
Yeah.
So once you make that puree, you're golden.
Mhm.
You can just go crazy.
Yeah, you can play with it.
Or the peas that you
It's
did
your
in your hand.
it's
or
your
not.
palette to play with.
Mhm.
Your green palette. Anyway, and
Ridiculously good, Patty.
oh, thank you. Yeah, no, I've enjoyed cooking. I
It is-
started actually in my sandbox when I was very young, making
With the molds.
sand pies, and
Sand pies.
this was in Chicago. And I also started moving furniture at a very young age, or to the point where
Your mother must have.
I got a hernia.
Oh my god.
Are you serious?
And the reason why I'm telling you this is because early on in my life, I always was rearranging furniture, and I was always playing with food. And even with my mother, when she'd be in the kitchen, although she was, you know, a fine cook, nothing great. I mean, she was, oh, there goes Chloe. Don't touch her, don't touch her, don't touch her.
Yeah.
She's a bitch. She's got to sniff you first. I do have treats for her
She has her
somewhere. I don't know what.
boundaries.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
the treats right there.
Uh-huh.
No, right here. You see them? Just drop them though. Don't give it to her.
Just by the way, when Patty walks into my house, she starts moving the furniture.
Yes.
You do.
I actually always,
I welcome
part
that.
of my
like
business
it.
is staging and styling, which has
Uh-huh.
led me into real estate. That was sort of a natural segue.
Mhm.
In saying that though, but it was at a very young age, and this is what I'm saying, look at your kids and what they ever are doing then, they will be probably doing later, because
I
that was
agree.
just
I
sort of
like
an
that.
inclination. And
Yeah.
like my daughter, my oldest daughter presently, who's used to be playing with her hair all the time,
She's
dyeing
the
it,
coolest girl, by the
shaving
way.
it,
Caitlin.
cutting it. Next day, I never knew what she was going to look like. Well, now she's going to cosmetology school and is in love with it.
We're so excited.
Yes, and I'm just really happy, but it was so early on that, it was just sort of innate.
Certain skills or certain passions, and they can work themselves into different careers, but
Right.
that's what the
Yeah.
core of you is going to be.
It is.
Exactly,
It's true.
exactly.
Find what it is that makes you just so happy and smile. And you clearly are wildly talented. This has been just the most beautiful morning, right, Jill?
Okay, now I have to put my CEO hat on, because
Okay, CEO.
my other business
Uh-huh.
is real estate. I'm with Berkshire Hathaway.
Oh, right.
And whatever you're thinking about the market, it's probably true. No. There's a lot going on. Hopefully, pray that things will get better. From what I indicate from the office is worldwide, or not worldwide, but nationwide, the median price has gone up in all 4 areas,
Regions, right.
but sales have come down.
Oh,
In saying that, though, it's mostly because we need more inventory in those price ranges under $2 million.
oh, okay.
Now, Greenwich is a totally different animal in itself, because the median price is around 1.5. The country on a whole is about 250,000 to 350,000, so you're
Amazing.
really an anomaly in itself. And in our own area, there's 4 different areas that have different price points and median sales prices. In saying that, we are, out of 100 zip codes, we have 4 in there that are the most expensive, and that's Cascade, Old Greenwich,
Isn't that amazing?
Riverside, and Greenwich.
All 4 of those.
All 4 are in
Yeah,
the
it's,
top.
I mean,
Zip
in the
codes
entire
the country,
world.
Right.
Like Rancho Santa Fe, California,
Right.
Bel Air, those kinds of
Marin.
things. Yeah.
And on top of all of that, given the fact that we do have a strong less unemployment, the wages are going up. Hopefully, with the spring market coming on, and more people will start loading up their listings. We have buyers. There's been a lot of business with under the $2 million to 2.5, and there has been some major transactions as well, up into 17 million, 21 million. We have presently right now, we have 42 closings that we had in January. We have 42
In January.
pending, and we have another in contingency about another 40.
That's
So we have about 129 transactions going on. Now they'll trickle through the next couple of months, because contingencies take a while.
And
But pending.
besides the price range that you're talking about, is there commonality that you're seing? Like, is it the staging? Is it certain features? Is
Do
it?
we
Well,
have the younger buyers? Like
Yes, you do have
first
the younger.
home
You
buyers
have the millennials who want
millennials.
everything done, and Metro Central
Yes.
is key. Condos are off the charts. They've really had a growth
Isn't
spurt.
that incredible?
They came
Yeah,
late
'cause
to
it's-
Fairfield County, so
Yeah.
being from
Yeah.
Chicago, the suburbs of Chicago, they've had beautiful choices for years, and
Right.
I kept saying, where are they? Because so many people, that's what they need. or
Right.
want.
Yeah.
They're slow.
No,
They
we'll
were
see.
slow, but they're coming.
I'm hopeful. Our company's very hopeful. We're, I'm part of a $500 billion company. Berkshire Hathaway's been
That's
amazing. They are constantly, buying more, real estate companies. We just bought one in Milan. We bought one in New York. We bought one in
It's a road trip.
Italy.
Road trip.
Yeah.
We have to go look at real estate.
Yeah. But in 5 years' time, we have 49,000.
Patty cooks for Trevor and Jill in every Berkshire
49,000
Hathaway location.
There you go. That would be
agents.
good.
Yeah.
So, but you also said something really interesting to me the other day, which is Berkshire Hathaway originates loans, and
Yes.
they can work with you in these different
Yes,
ways.
in a lot of
and
different
a little
creative
bit
ways that,
creative.
normally,
Interesting,
they
right?
handle the transaction from A to Z. They don't have to go to a bank and get
That's
the
a
money.
big
They
deal.
sell, to investors once the loan is packaged.
I didn't know that.
So, yeah,
That's
and
cool.
there's some real fun, creative ways that we can do
It's so amazing.
your deal out of the box.
So, just so you guys know, this is Patricia Ekvall of Patricia Ekvall's Luxury Properties. She's an amazing realtor. She's helped me out find a beautiful place. I adore it.
And we're still looking.
And we're still looking. And you've just seen this this woman cook and stage this gorgeous house. So multi-talented, great realtor.
Yeah, it's a
cook for
one-stop
you.
shop,
It's a
sweetheart.
one-stop shop.
Bring me your listing and I'll make it happen.
But you'll do
and you'll
great.
have fun.
Will you do
I'm all
catering?
about having fun. I know it's an emotional deal
Yeah.
trying to sell a house, but
Yeah.
you know what? I'm Miss Fix It. That's basically
Are
it.
you in
And-
towns? Are you solely Greenwich?
No,
Ontario?
my wingspan goes
Mhm.
all of Fairfield County.
Okay,
I'm
that's
in
good to
3
know.
MLSs. I'm waiting for my approval on Westchester, so I'll be in 4 MLSs. So then I can do
Awesome.
business in the nearby
Yeah, because
Bedford,
a lot of
Westchester.
people, kind of the border of Westchester, that's,
Right.
that's a big decision,
Yes.
you know, they go
Well,
right away.
thank you so much for having
Well,
you.
thank
us
you.
to
It was a
your
pleasure. I hope you all
beautiful house
enjoyed
this
it.
morning.
Cheers.
I
Love
toasted
you.
hostess.
Thoroughly wonderful.
In the
Thank
peanut
you.
gallery, you get all the leftovers.
The canned audience, we should have had canned laughter.
Next
Thank
time.
you.
Next time.
They should